Hey guys, welcome back to the Strict Strength YouTube channel. We're continuing our theme on working on developing our splits. Today I got something a little bit different for you. We're going to be going over some foam rolling techniques. So hopefully you have a foam roller handy. And in case you're not familiar with, say, myofascial release, kind of the theory behind it is you have your muscle tissue that ends up with various knots or tight muscles. So this is kind of like a representation of that, whereas the orange band is what we would say is like healthy muscle tissue. And if I pull on this, that muscle tissue stretches pretty evenly across, but we have these knots, which would be this blue band here. If it's knotted up or gunked up here, and we're just doing like static stretching, our healthy muscle will stretch normal, but our knots don't get the attention or the focus they need. So basically what we're going to try to do is we'll take our foam roller here and we're going to foam roll the length of the muscle, and we're basically looking for those knots. So we're searching for the painful areas. And once we find it, we're going to sit on it so we can roll it here. We can rock back and forth. We can also just let our body sink into it. And the goal in mind is that we get in there, we break up those knots, and then what happens eventually is we create healthy muscle tissue that is the full length of the muscle, so that when we do our static stretching, we get an even stretch across the whole muscle. All right, guys, so for our foam rolling, we're going to be focusing, obviously, on our lower half here, and we'll start out nice and basic on the hamstrings. So we're going to grab our foam roller, and as mentioned, we're just kind of rolling and searching for the knots. So I'm just going to go up and down, see if I find anything. Sometimes what you can do is kind of like just search different angles. That feels okay. You could search this side. And kind of up in here, I got a little bit of a knot. So this is where I'm going to kind of hang out. I'm just going to kind of loosen that up. And so you can roll back and forth like this. You can also kind of do this like, call it like a windshield wiper motion. And or you can just kind of like hang out and sit on it. And if you want, if it's not too painful, you can get more pressure. You can stack the legs. And we just want to try to get those knots to release. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and switch it up. We'll go to the other side. So this will be same, just hamstring, we're searching. And if you don't have like any super tender spots or knots, then we just foam roll the whole muscle. That's totally fine too. It's kind of like right in there, feels good. You get more pressure here. Yep, that's a good spot. Okay, and then we're going to work on the hips next. So what we want to do here is we're going to sit on the roller, and then you're going to take your foot over your knee, and then you kind of catty corner yourself. So your hips there. It's like a little bit above your back pocket. Okay, so I can kind of feel it here, and this windshield wiper motion works really well on the hips. Okay, now we're going to get the other side here. So foot over the knee, search around. can definitely feel this side's a little more knotted up than the other. All right. Cool. I'm going to relax off that. The next one I'm going to do is for the quad, so I'm going to turn over here. We'll go one leg at a time. And so you're going to roll from kind of the front edge of your hip down to the top of your knee. And this is definitely one you're going to want to search different angles. And for me, it's just slightly more on this outside, like right there. All right. Oh, I can feel that one pretty good actually. And get my other side here. Right to that same spot, because on both sides, kind of it's tight in the same spot. So it's kind of common, people do foam rolling and they navigate away from the painful spots, but you actually want to seek them out. You're trying to find those, because that's that gunked up tight muscle that you're trying to loosen up so it's relaxed and healthy like the rest of the muscle. Awesome. All right. So this one's probably everybody's least favorite. We're going to go for the IT band, which is on the outside of the leg. And what you're going to want to do on this is use your other leg either behind or in front to help take off a little bit of the pressure, because it's quite sensitive. And we'll go up and down, and then you find those painful spots. I'm going to sit on it, go back and forth. I'm going to work through like about 20 to 30 seconds at each area, but you can spend longer on it if you want, or do it in kind of like 2 rotations or 2 rounds. That works really well. All right. This other leg. Awesome. All right, so this next one is a little bit weird of a stretch, but basically we want to get the adductors, so the inside of the leg. So what we're going to do is put the foam roller so it's parallel with our body, and then we're going to try to bring one leg out so that we can get some pressure on the inside of this leg. And you're going to roll the full length of the muscle, so way up high and then down low at the knee. Once you find any tender spot, I'm just going to hang out here. And I find that, like for middle splits, loosen up this area definitely helps you get a little bit closer to that middle split. Cool. Other side. All right, cool. So that kind of covers all the bases for our upper legs. If you want to take it farther with foam rolling, you can pretty much foam roll anything, calves, lats, arms. Just again, the whole concept, trying to find those knots, work those loose so that a muscle is healthy and stretches evenly when you do your static stretching. All right, so today will be kind of fun because we're going to add a few other implements. So we did the band demonstration. We got the foam roller. The next one's going to be with a kettlebell. And in the CrossFit world, this is kind of like a well-known stretch. If you're coming from a different area, it might be new to you. Hopefully I'm still all the way in the camera. So we want a box or something to stand on. And then we also want some sort of a weight. And this weight is going to help us stretch out our hamstring. So I got this kettlebell here. I'm going to let it hang off the sides. And I'm just relaxing into it and letting the weight pull me down a little bit further. And you can kind of shift side to side, bend and straighten the different legs. Depending on your weight, you can kind of like contract into it a little bit. And then relax. Sometimes that takes you down further. They call that PNF stretching, or contract and relax. The full technical term, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. It's kind of wordy, so you don't hear that very often. And I'm just going to kind of hang out here for a good minute or so. All right, and relax out of that. Cool, so that kind of gets our hamstrings, back of our legs pretty good. And the next one we're going to do is for the quads. And depending on your mobility, you might need something to kind of prop you up. So I'll give you a couple options here. You can do this one leg at a time if that's easier, and where we go from down, ideally down to your elbow, and then we're trying to get down to our back. Okay. If it's comfortable enough, we can go both legs, and it's kind of the same thing. If you can get to your elbows first, that's good. And then if you can get to your back, that's even better. You're going to feel this in the quads. Now, if this causes any sort of like knee pain, then we want to steer clear of it. So another option you can do is to actually lay face down. Okay? And if you're able to, we're going to grab both our legs here. If both legs is too tough, we can go with one leg. So lots of options on this stretch. I prefer going face up here. And if you need to, you can get a ball. And you can prop yourself onto something. So like a ball, you could use that foam roller again. You could use a yoga block. We're just trying to stretch the quads here. So handful of options for you. I'm going to do mine like this. I get a lot more out of it. It doesn't bother my knees. So I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit. And while I hang out here, I just want to say, thanks for the shout outs on Instagram and for everybody that's been posting their progress for the splits challenge. It's been really cool to watch. Thanks for following the YouTube channel. That's cool as well. And we've seen some people posting stuff with their progress is really, really amazing in relatively short time. So again, thank you guys. Also, our app is fairly new, and thanks for the people that have downloaded it, and thanks for the people that have become members. It's really cool seeing people from all over the world hop on board and like what we have to offer. We have some people from Spain, from Norway, from Brazil, from Italy, and a handful from the U.S. So again, thank you guys all so very much. It's been really cool to see this brand already start to grow a little bit. And we plan to grow it a lot more. So hopefully you guys stick with us. All right, I think we got the back of our legs pretty good. We got our quads pretty good. So let's just end with a little bit of front split, a little bit of middle split, and we'll call it good for today. So pick your favorite leg. Mine is left side forward. I'm more flexible on this side. Okay, and so I'm gonna just kind of find my end range, work around a little bit, straighten my back leg, shift around, and then I'm going to settle in to my end range. That's probably that. Hold this for about 20 seconds. All right, and I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to settle in here. Awesome. And then let's try my middle splits. We're going to go toes up. This floor is so grippy, it's crazy. All right. So I'm here. Slide into it. Awesome. And relax. Shake out your legs if you need to. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.